What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Meat Man, and today we have some very special guests to talk about an upcoming event for the Monster Hunter community, the Hunters Awards. The first person I want to introduce is Maple. Maple is the founder of Team Lightside, as well as the founder of the Hunters Awards. Maple, what is your main role for the Hunters Awards?
Yeah, so happy to be here. I am basically the executive director of the Hunters Awards. So I'm responsible for things like planning out the schedule, having, like formatting what the video is going to be, gathering all the members and volunteers for the project, and just basically ensuring the flow of the project goes well.
Solid. We also have the right-hand man, Mr. Team Lightside himself, Shinkrai. Shinkrai, introduce yourself, man. What are you doing for the Hunters Awards?
What about the Hitless Hunter?
He's also the Hitless Hunter.
I usually lead all the hard work from Maple and do nothing at all. For real. For real. Now, I'm currently like a judge. I'm judging on the nominees to see who's the winner. I'm also helping Maple usually with all the general organization. He does most of the heavy work, but I help in a way.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, you're covering
a little bit.
You're covering
because that story seems a little bit different to my experience. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding.
So basically, you're the cleanup crew. You clean up Maple's tracks, basically.
I'm the janitor.
I'm the janitor. You get the work done, and you're the muscle of the operation. And we also have a third guest. We have BBake of Bake Nation fame. BBake, what do you do for the Hunters Awards?
So I'm the main or lead editor that I pretty much compile all the videos together in a timeline, try to make smooth transitions, music, make sure everything pretty much just runs smoothly for the whole event to look clean.
Sweet. Okay. As far as the Hunters Awards go, what is like the Hunters Awards to you guys? Like, how would you describe it to someone who is wondering, what the hell is this thing?
I think just the biggest thing is just it's supposed to be like a celebration of the community, because like my main goal for starting out the Hunters Awards was just it's kind of a shitpost in a way, in that the idea started out as kind of like a meme, where back when I was a lot more active on Twitter, a lot of my mutuals were just having like mutual tournaments of like, who they like more and stuff like that. And I was just thinking like, I kind of want to do something for the Monster Hunter community. And that idea sort of kind of evolved, I guess, into like a grander project of just being like, hey, what if we just gathered everyone in the community and just tried holding an event to celebrate, the past year? Because you have like so much vast like communities within the Monster Hunter community. So you have like the cosplayers, you have like the speedrunners, you have like all those guide makers and stuff like that. And a lot of these members are often very like, intertwined with each other. Like they know each other, everyone's so cool with one another, but there wasn't really big way for common Monster Hunter fans to really know about all these different people. So like it was sort of like a more isolated like niche. So like if you're like a cosplayer, like you wouldn't really know about like a lot of the speedrunners. If you were a speedrunner, you wouldn't really know too much about artists and stuff like that. You might, but in general, it's kind of difficult to find each other. So in that way, it kind of devolved into an idea of we try gathering all the members from within the community, just grab everyone and just try to celebrate and highlight specific parts of the community just for everyone to enjoy.
Cool. I mean, it is funny that it started off as like a kind of like meme, and now it's evolved into this grand thing. Because even last year, you guys' first Hunters Awards, like y'all had a lot of big names on board, and it seemed almost like so natural. Like you guys had over like 100 creators nominated for different things. A lot of people that, like you said, a lot of people might know a good handful, but they might not be exposed to some of the other creators involved. It was a good like way of putting spotlight on all sorts of different groups. That cross-pollination of different content creators from different like subgenres of the community being able to come together, and that exposure of like, hey, maybe I do like cosplaying, or hey, that art actually is really, really good. Maybe you would see like new things and be exposed to new things that you never even thought about that the Monster Hunter community offered. Because we do have a very vast, wide, talented community. And so it's such a cool thing that this meme that you've had, that sprouted in your brain from some funny Twitter like trend, has now evolved into this. At this point, the scale is massive. I mean, you guys have had like huge names in the Monster Hunter community as a whole, big content creators, Capcom creators, all these different things involved in as far as like announcers being nominated. It's honestly super impressive, especially for a zero funding, just passion project. Like you guys are doing awesome work.
Yeah, I think it just reflects on how welcoming the community is, because last year when we kind of started, it was just mostly me and Shin. I remember DMing Shincry like at like 2 a.m. my time and just being like, Shin, I have an idea. And Shin's just like, what's up? And I just sent him like a paragraph of just being like, Monster Hunter like awards, what do you think? And he's just like, I'm down, let's do this. And it just started from there. And like you said, it's just amazing how much, like, even like looking at last year, how much like amazing people we managed to bring in for like announcing and hosts like that. Like we got Gaijin Hunter, we got like Rurikon, like one of the like the big leagues in terms of like the Monster Hunter community. And I think it's just, we expected it was going to be a bit difficult at first because, back then, I'm still a small fry, I feel like, but back then I was even a smaller fry. So it's just, I thought I would be like, who's this random, like, 1,000 follower account DMing me into like, perspective of like the content creators. But surprisingly, like so many people within the community, like, even if they're like, like really big and busy, they were just like, I think this is a great idea. Like, I want to help out and stuff like that. And I think Shincry helped out a lot as well, because back then, I didn't have a lot of connections and stuff like that. So he contacted a lot of like the members you saw in last year, like I think Peppo, I think like Rurikon and stuff like that. So I think it's just really cool to see that even if, it was just some nobody that was proposing the idea, so many people were on board and supportive of the idea and just ready to like communicate and like just celebrate the community together.
We didn't expect to get that big at all. Like,
no.
We were surprised with the amount of support and how much people were like, let's do it. It was really, really, really amazing seeing how it was growing more and more. Yeah. At some point, we were a bit scared, like, okay, this need to be more serious in that sense. We need to be more professional on everything. Like the stakes were bigger in that sense.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think like when I first planned out the project, we didn't have ideas for stuff like hosts. We didn't have like announcers and stuff like that. It was just going to be a straight video with, just showing the content, showing the results and stuff like that. And I was expecting like a 30-minute, 40-minute runtime. But I think our final result was like what? Like an hour and a half or something? Do you remember, Bake?
Yeah, I can check right now. It was an hour and 24 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah. So basically like an additional hour of what I like originally envisioned, with way more stuff that, like had it. So it's just mind blowing. And this was all done within like the span of like a month and a half, which was, I still think it was crazy that we were able to do.
It was like we didn't have anything ready for it. We have to do it so quickly. Maple really did a lot of work in terms of the line, on the steps, everything. He really he was even sleeping most of the time. He might not recognize it, but I remember him being up the whole day, just writing and making ideas. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. I wish I could say the same for this year.
I think it's going all right this year. I mean, we're still going pretty well.
I think it's because we did a lot of the brute work last year, where we had like the foundation and stuff like that. So this year is a lot more smooth sailing and stuff like that. Like a lot less, outlines for me to write, because people already know what they were doing. Like when we started the work for this year, people were on it. Like the video editors were just like discussing in the channel before their work even started, being like, okay, we're gonna split this work this way, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I'm like, yeah, keep doing that, great job.
That's
it definitely
good.
was a lot smoother this year, especially for editing, because essentially everyone pretty much broke it up their editing into 2 different categories. And since a lot of the same editors last year were in this year too, we pretty much did the same exact categories. So it was already set in stone. Like, oh, you did those last year, we're gonna do the same one this year.
Yep.
Quick question, real quick. Quick question. Also, sick ass like Sandlot type story, bro. Like that's a ragtag little group of
Yeah.
some other guys coming together and like, hey, we can do something kind of cool here. And sure enough, you got a lot of hands on deck. And this year being smooth sailing, that's just a testament to the hard groundwork you did the first year. But even with like all the groundwork and stuff, I'm sure there's still like a lot of effort, a lot of prep, a lot of time spent to make the Hunters Awards not just possible, but an improved, good experience. What would you say like are each of your like biggest inspirations and motivators while you're doing this? Because surely it's not easy. Like you have your own content to work on, you have your own things to do, personal life to juggle, this huge project. Like what keeps you going?
Like one of the things that I think pushed me to keep doing this is because I feel like usually, at least in the last years and especially this year, there's a lot of negativity around Monster Hunter in the sense of community. Like there's been like the old saying of the Monster Hunter community, it's so healthy, but as the last year since war and everything, people push the idea that it's always like elitism, negative, toxic for some reason. And I think that the thing that pushed me to do this the most is the reason that I want people to remember that the community has good things, great times, a lot of fun moments, and people that is working really hard behind the scenes to make the content, the community itself, of course. So I think that I really want people to remember why we love Monster Hunter. And I think this is a good celebration to make it because it's from the community to the community. So that would be my answer, at least.
Honestly, yeah, I think like Shin said it pretty perfectly. Like, if you want me to be honest, like my answer is very straightforward. Like not a lot of reason. I just like, like hanging out with a lot of people. I like celebrating stuff with the community. I just, like spread that positivity and just enjoy the moment. So I think it's just really cool to have some kind of event that brings the community together. I think my like best experiences during like the Hunter Awards like of last year was when we had the premiere first, like it's like a YouTube premiere on Rurikon's channel, and you have like the live chat going on for like the reactions and stuff like that, right? And you just see all the members from the community, like regardless of whether they were nominated or part of the event, just coming in to like just celebrate the event together. They're co-streaming it, they're just watching the show by themselves or their friends, just live together, and just seeing all that live chat reaction of people just celebrating. Like if like Peppo came up on the screen, the entire chat would just spam with, "That's the longsword captain, that's Peppo, my go," and just flooding the chat with that. And I just thought that was such a great experience to see, just seeing all the parts of the community just gathering together to just be part of this little event that we created. And I think that just kind of pushes me just to see of people enjoying just the small little things.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with both Maple and Shin there. I mean, the foundation of Monster Hunter was essentially built off of working together with fellow hunters, and that's exactly what this community project is. At the end of the day, while we are still working at this as like, staff members and people volunteering, we're still hunters. We love Monster Hunter, and we just want to share it with everyone and the communities, everyone within it, to just give them a good fun time, because as Shin did say, this year's been filled with a lot of negativity, especially with wilds and some sort of various issues that people may have with it, but that's not what this event is about. It's about spreading the love and joy that Monster Hunter can bring, and the love that pretty much all of us have for it.
Hell yeah. Awesome answers, guys. You guys are truly doing GOG's work out here, bringing some positivity for the Monster Hunter community.
What about you, Meat Man? I know. I heard some stories from people that But you're also working on the Hunters Awards this year.
No, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be.
I want to ask the same question to you. What does it mean to you?
I think having any form of influence, I think using it to put shine on other people is an excellent way to use your influence. And there's a lot of people I got a lot of love for in the community. And it was like, whenever you guys gave me the opportunity to be on the nominations and categories team, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like literally my whole thing will be just raising up, hey, here's this person. What do you think about them? You know, for this specific category and stuff like that. I mean, I even got to help create a category. So that was really cool.
Oh yeah, that's, yep.
Yeah, so it was like a lot of like really, really, like it brought me a lot of joy to be able to, you know, whether there were like friends that I got to nominate, there were people that I'd never talked to before, but, you know, maybe some other people wouldn't have discovered them, that I got to nominate, things like that. I thought it was just I thought I could bring a different kind of perspective, and, you know, luckily I was able to. So, you know, I felt like being responsible with my influence in any way is, definitely a big goal I have, as a content creator and as like just a person. So, you know, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity. And as far as like inspiration and stuff goes, it was just the catharsis of seeing someone I nominated make it top 5. Like I was like, oh, that feels good. That feels good. Because like we didn't have any hands on the judging and stuff like that. You know, we just brought in the names, and so it was an awesome experience to be a part of it.
Because it's funny you say that, because a lot of like some of the changes that we did for this year was sort of relating and kind of mentioned during your video that you did last year, I think. So stuff like, I believe, some nominations of smaller content creators that I remember you mentioned like in that video for the 2024's version. We really took into heart and just feeling like we do want to, you know, shine on the smaller content creators and stuff like that, and realize that it's not going to be enough with just a couple of us doing the category nomination creation if we want to get a lot of the, you know, lesser known people. So that's why we tried expanding a lot of the nomination crew this year, and try to get, actually, well, we didn't have the nomination crew last year. It was just mostly just anyone within the staff that was basically adding on and getting like opinions from other community members. But this year we made a specific you know, role for people that were responsible for gathering nominees, you know, creating categories and stuff like that. And I think it's just worked out really well this year. So we're gonna probably continue from there.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty solid amount of nominees, of course winners, because I think it's representing the whole community as a whole, like Japanese, Chinese, everything. So I think it went pretty well in that sense. I'm pretty happy with the results.
Oh yeah.
I would have to agree with that.
So touching on like learning experiences from last year's Hunters Awards, how would you say like you improved or like took what you learned from last year and like really upped the scale of, I mean, we mentioned the nominations and categories team. Are there any other things on hand that you could go over?
Yeah, we have quite a lot. Yeah. So last year we basically had like a little forum for people to, you know, give their opinions and just feedback for the first Hunter Awards. So we've had a lot of feedback. Like, we're very thankful. Like, I think we had like almost like 100 responses from the forum, which is crazy. So we basically just, you know, read through all of them, just try to see which ones were like the kind of like the common ones, which ones were like, you know, like that we could use and stuff like that. So we worked on that a lot. So I think a big thing that we improved from last year was try to improve the host segments, because last year it was a bit kind of cut and dry, where the hosts were only responsible for doing the intro and then the outro and just, you know, dipping out. So kind of to improve on that from last year, for this year, we added an additional mid-intermission host segment where the host can just, you know, like, you know, I don't want to spoil too much, but they're basically gonna discuss about the event so far, just talk about a lot of the stuff and stuff like that. So that's a lot of new stuff to look forward to. I think another thing people wanted was they felt the nominee showcases were a bit short. they wanted a little more emphasis on what the nominees do and stuff like that. So for this year, we made sure to actually more directly contact the nominees for, on what kind of content they would want showcased for your showcase. So we have a lot more longer showcases that have more personality and details to really show off what they do and what they do well and stuff like that. Another thing I can think of is just people wanted more I think a community voted category, or just community votes within the category. But again, we sort of came to the conclusion at the end of the day that often with community voted stuff, there's going to be a lot of bias. People with larger numbers are going to, of course, get the higher number of votes. So we still thought it was a little bit too difficult to ensure that if we were to do community votes for the major categories, to keep it bias free, vote rigging, botting and all that stuff. So instead, we went with an alternative solution of kind of combining two feedbacks, because some people wanted more of goofy and wacky categories, maybe best fashion hunter or stuff like that. So instead, we kind of combine those two ideas together to make minor categories for this year, where it's all community voted, all community submitted. Anyone can do it. They're allowed to basically submit for their favorite, their personal favorite virtual photography or their personal favorite fashion. And there's going to be a voting for that, all community done. And from there, we can use those as our two new minor categories for the awards. And let's think. Another thing was to kind of move around the segments of the event. We did feel like there was a little bit too much intermissions last year. I believe we had 3, right, Bake? 3 intermissions, I think.
Yep, there was 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 intermissions. So we did feel like it was a bit too often. So this year we're going with a more, make them less frequent, but a little bit longer. So we combined 3, montages worth of content into 2 of them, added some more stuff within those intermissions and stuff like that. Even maybe a special message from someone, wink wink. But we'll actually wink wink, no spoilers, but just stuff's add extra stuff for the intermissions, but less frequent. And what else, Shin? Are we missing anything?
I think the biggest improvement to the whole awards thing is not having me in charge of doing the promotional graphic image.
Oh my!
Last year they were so scuffed because I have to do them, and they were awful. This time we have someone that knows who to do it. Thanks,
I don't want to bash you at all, Shinkrai, but it was called the Hunters Awards.
Right. That's a funny story. So it's always has been supposed to be the Hunter Awards, right? But on the day of our announcement reveal of the Hunter Awards, Shinkrai makes a typo and posts it with Hunters Awards.
No way.
Yeah, and we're just like, Shin, it says Hunters Awards, and Shin's just like, oops. We were just like, I guess we're going with Hunters Awards for this year.
Oh, this
so maybe
is
that's
wild.
the biggest improvement. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just a little background info.
Yeah. But other than that, I think we had, just the standard stuff. We added more categories. I think we have 2 new categories, virtual photography and rising star, which is, I think, suggested by Meatman, right? You?
But I thought I did the gaming community, or Monster
right,
community.
the community, right. Sorry about that. Yeah. And we also tried for this year, a big emphasis we had was trying to gather a more global audience, because last year, because of our limited, reach and kind of capabilities, we sort of stuck with mostly an English speaking audience with maybe a couple of European side and stuff like that. But this year we really wanted to because Monster Hunter, the community is so vast. It's not just the English speaking. There's the Japanese side, there's the whole European side, there's the Brazilian side, and there's just Asians, basically really big. And we were only getting a small percent of it by doing mostly just English stuff. So this year we gathered a lot of like new members within the category nominee team to basically from all around the community. Like I believe some of them are from Brazil, some of them are from France, some of them are, like just all around the world. And their job was to, highlight their side of the community. So it won't be just more of an English focus, but we're very much reaching for a global audience. And think this year we had a very good selection of nominees. I'm honestly very happy with what kind of people there were. A lot of new people I didn't know about that I now follow and, support. And I think this is something that we can continue pushing to have a more global reach and, celebrate the entire Monster Hunter community.
I think that's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, another quick question. What is the most fun aspect of working on the Hunters Awards to you guys? Like, what do you have the most fun doing?
I'll let someone go first. My throat is very dry.
I guess for me, being an editor, it's probably just trying to find a unique way to present the actual content in a way that is appealing and going to be kind of entertaining to watch.
It's kind of like a challenge aspect to you.
No, absolutely. Like whenever I see like the work in progress from like Bake, I'm just like in awe every time by what he's able to do. Like we give him all this raw footage and he's just always in my DMs just going like, oh, I tried this thing out. And oh, I tried this new thing out. I thought this would work for this. And it's just like every time I'm like, how are you able to come up with all of this idea? And I think it's just really cool to see.
I did come up with a new idea for the host talking, and I hope it works out well.
Yeah. I've seen the work in progress and it looks, it looks amazing. I think everyone will enjoy and just appreciate the little details that he puts in his editing.
I'm gonna go next. Okay, so the thing is, because I don't have usually, last year I didn't have like a specific role like that. I was like, generally speaking, all over the place. But this year, for example, I have a more specific role, which is the judge one. And I think that's my favorite part so far, because when I was like looking at the nominees, some of them you have to investigate a bit. You need to see the background, how they interact with the community, when they do it, the kind of videos they do, the quality of them, depending on what you have to do to value the points, because we have like a selection of points to evaluate the people. I think that was the most fun part for me this year, because it required from me to be really inside on the whole community, to see everything and everyone and how to evaluate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, like, I could never do that. I'd be way too biased if I was a judge.
I would be way too biased as well.
Yeah. I'll leave it to the people that, can be impartial and do their proper research and stuff like that. But again, yeah, I'd be way too biased. Being like, oh, I know this person. They get my vote.
I would be more along the lines of like, whoa, that looks so cool. I'm choosing this person.
Yeah. Let me think. I mean, I think there's just so much like enjoyment of working in the project. Of course, like at times I feel like pulling my hair when things don't go right and just stuff like that. Like it's not always, like all sunshines and rainbows, but I think my favorite parts is just seeing like the project like, start from scratch and just seeing how it like builds on each other and just everyone working together to like do this one joint project to see like make this one big product is like a really cool thing to see and just really enjoyable for me as a like the lead of the project and just kind of like leading people. And I feel like it's just really, how should I say it, like very surreal to see that there is a group of like volunteers, like no one's getting paid for this, that's like the biggest thing. Like everyone is just doing this purely out of love for the project. Just seeing everyone being on the same brainwave, just being, oh, we know what to do. We're going to do this. And here's like the parts that we did. And just seeing the progression of starting from just basically nothing to seeing what is almost a finished product by now is just, really enjoyable for me and just makes me go, this is why I, do this kind of stuff, just getting all the community. Because not only is the Hunters Awards is just Hunter Awards, sorry, Shinkrai's brainwashed me. not only is Hunter Awards, just supposed to be like a celebration within, like the whole Monster Hunter community, but it's just also really amazing to see and realize that all the volunteers within the projects are, the same fans of the project, like the community, and just part of the community and stuff like that. So it's just like a smaller scale of what it means to be in the Monster Hunter community, just to have all these people just be really eager and just willing to take time of their personal life when they're busy with their own content creation and stuff like that, and like just job work, whatever they have, just to see that everyone is loves Monster Hunter. That's that's the best way I can say it.
Excellent, awesome. I appreciate you guys' answers, and I appreciate your time. Thank you guys for coming on for this interview and giving us a little sneak peek before the Hunters Awards comes out, or Hunter Awards. Sorry, Shin.
You're never gonna live that down.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be a new meme, dude. It's gonna be a new meme. But do you guys have any closing remarks you want to give? Like any thanks? I know that you probably got some announcements and thanks and everything you're gonna do during the Hunters Awards and after. But is there anything you want to say before?
I mean, I just big thanks to the Monster Hunter community and all the volunteers and staff for the project. This really couldn't have been done if it wasn't for everyone just being so on board with the project. So just big thanks to that. We put a lot of effort for this year's Hunter Awards, so I hope everyone enjoys it. And just, we're all here to have a good time.
I think this is the biggest love letter that the community can offer. So I really hope that people can feel the same way when they are watching it.
Yeah, I think the best way to put it is we all love Monster Hunter and we just want to share that love with everyone to watch and just all come together to do that.
Sweet. Well, I tell you, you guys' love for the community and for Monster Hunter is infectious, and it bleeds into the passion of the project. You guys are doing great work, and I'm appreciative, and I'm sure there's a good swath of the community and the content creators that are appreciative of this as well, because it really is awesome work, and it's a way to bring everyone together, and content creators get to meet each other, and everyone gets to be a part of this big project. It's awesome to see, truly.
All right, so I think we can wrap it up then. Do we want to end it with our, you know what?
Ooh.
Man, you want to count us down?
Let's do it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Happy hunting!
Happy hunting!
What is going? Oh, here we go. Okay, I got the recording going. What is going? Cut! Burn it all down. All right, here we go.
I've got dinner ready. Let him cook.